Hello and welcome to Flippin Through, the internet's #1 Mad Magazine news, review, and interview channel. And today we're flipping through Mad Magazine number 434, released October 2003. The cover price $3.50, which is indeed cheap. But before we do that, hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. That's right. Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you for tuning in on this beautiful Christmas Eve. If you're not watching this on Christmas Eve, then that's when I released this video. I don't know what to tell you. I kind of expect that everybody who watches these videos watches it the day it is released. Hey, if you are just tuning in for the first time or the 50th, please hit like, hit subscribe. Got to double check that you're still subscribed, and leave a comment down below at some point during this video. If you want to support me in another way, patreon.com/flippinthrough. Support me at any amount. You get a 6 set of stickers. Support me, I don't know, give me $5. I'll sell you this. This is an awesome, what is this called? A stencil, and it looks sick. Oh man, it looks so good. Look how that turns out. It's beauteous. It really is. Anyway, with that, I would like to thank those people that support me on Patreon. That is Misimo, David Strickler, Megan McInerney, Shane Buckley, Bobby Weigel, Cam Hayden, Rob Wilson, Rod Mead Sperry, Andrew Goldfarb, Casey Ori, and Little Cozy Nostril. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope I can keep on earning it. Get back to this. Booyah. That was good timing this time. Here we have Mad Magazine number 434. I was really hoping, you guys know what I was really hoping for? I was really hoping that I could get a cool Christmas issue, but last week I did the 300s. This week I'm doing the 400s. So at that point, they weren't doing like cute Christmas covers, which I don't know, is a bit of a bummer, I think, because their Christmas covers are all pretty awesome. Going in to this, let's zoom in on the Alfred E. Newmanism. A gambler who thinks he has a can't-lose system for winning at blackjack isn't playing with a full deck. Very good. Thank you. We'll zoom out of that. There are just a few letters that I want to talk about. One is this. I think this is impressive. The celebrity snaps. If you don't recall, celebrity snaps, they would have basically, I think any celebrity, it had to be a real celebrity. It's sort of like that thing about pornography. I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. That's how I feel about celebrities, right? I can't define what a celebrity is. I just know one when I see one. And so if you got a photo with it, you'd get like a year subscription in MAD, for MAD. And if you had got like their, I don't know, there was a hit list of like 20 that if you got them in that year, you'd get like a 5-year subscription. I was at the United States Competitive Climbing Association National Competition in Richmond, Virginia on July 12th, 2003. I saw the Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld, Rummy, watching his granddaughter climb. I wanted my picture taken with him and immediately thought of my Mad magazine that I always carry in my climbing backpack. When I asked him to hold the Mad, he said he didn't want to be caught with that stuff. I think that's kind of cool. Most of the celebrities are not that impressive, but that one is. And then the next one that I wanted to point out is this one. My favorite segment, the Make a Dumb Wish Foundation. I would like to make a wish for the Make a Dumb Wish Foundation. I'm a 14-year-old male whose life has been tormented all because of one Disney character sharing the same name as mine. Pinocchio? Therefore, I would like for you to assassinate the Little Mermaid. I do not want to go on to high school with the burden. Ariel Gardner, Los Angeles, California. That's the bummer about being a Hispanic dude. Ariel is a man's name. It's a butch name, bro. I hope he kept his name. Guard, as you know, it is the sacred mission of the Make a Dumb Wish Foundation to make dumb wishes come true. So, we shall make yours come true. Sushi, anyone? Here is the masthead. Is that what this is called? Sam Viviano, art director. Nadia Simone, associate art director. Patricia Dwyer, with Ryan Flanders as a production assistant. And Leonard Brenner, a graphics consultant. Now, this is a pretty fun one. MAD's deck of least wanted Americans. If you weren't around in the early 2000s, all of you watching were around in the early 2000s, presumably. Otherwise, I don't think anybody who wasn't would be interested in this channel. But the United States military made a deck of 52 cards with wanted people on it. In the context of the war on terrorism, and so it was like their pictures and like a little description. And so this is like a joke about that. The least wanted Americans. And what's so cool about this is that you get some really cool artists all working together. Mort Drucker, Drew Friedman, Herman Mejia, and Sam Viviano. Writers Desmond Devlin and Frank Jacobs. One thing, that's Norman Mingo. They didn't credit him. What's the deal with that? The other thing going through this that struck me is, it's written by Frank Jacobs, which is cool. You guys know I love Frank. I'm a Francophile, okay? But it seems needless that these rhymed. Hillary Clinton loves her crib upon the hill, mainly 'cause she's far from Bill. I don't know. It's really fun to see some of these illustrations in color, especially since a lot of these, I don't know, I guess I'm not really used to seeing them in color. Like Drew Friedman, not used to seeing his in color. Sam Viviano, not. Herman Mejia, his stuff always jumps out to me in color, so I remember it a little bit more because it's, I think, just so much better. And then Mort Drucker. Mort Drucker really toned down the caricature style. They just look like, they're still caricatures. There's like exaggerations and stuff, but it just looks quite nice. Herman Mejia, really, he turned up the Herman Mejia of it all. And it's like, I love him, man. I just think he's just so freaking great. He's so good at capturing like the facial expressions of these people. Drew Friedman too, of course, is like, here we have Drew Friedman. It's like, it's beautiful, beautiful stuff. I cannot really compare these because they are just so fantastic. This stood out. Larry Wachowski, his sex change, folks, is nothing but a new kind of director's cut. I don't know what, it's no longer Larry, obviously. But what's very interesting, and I would say probably rare, right? The Wachowski brothers are both trans females. So they're now both they're Wachowski sisters. There was a moment where they were the Wachowski siblings, and now they are the Wachowski sisters. That's pretty much where my interest in the Wachowskis ends. But what's so cool about this is like they went through the whole deck. There's 52 of these, and I will say this: no offense to Desmond Devlin or to Frank Jacobs. The best part are all of these caricatures. It's just so much fun to look at. The writing is fun. I just don't understand why. Look at Frankie Muniz. What a little freak. Ugh. I don't understand why it was all rhyming. I wonder if the U.S. military did that too. you know? Hey guys, let's try hard to got him. Our favorite enemy, Osama bin Laden. I don't know. That was just off the top of my head. When hardcore gamers take their place in society, I thought this one was going to be so awful, but it actually turned out pretty well. It aged well, I would say, because some of these are things that I lived through. So here, rather than candid shots of the wife and kids, the majority of desktop photo frames will feature the babes from Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, which is it was a weird game. The physics on some parts of it were outstanding, though. Medical insurance companies will begin covering a new procedure, the Super Mario colonoscopy. This is my favorite one. Zarnagel, you share with Don O'Queef. Pavel Choir, put that down now. Daycare rosters will become inundated with kids named after characters their parents created while playing EverQuest. EverQuest being that first video game that I remember being extremely addicting. The joke was people would call it Evercrack, making that addictive connection between crack cocaine and a video game. Here we have guys who grew up on Grand Theft Auto will end up teaching driver's ed. Today we're going to run over a few hookers and we'll try to lose the cops, and time permitting, we'll work on our parallel parking. I don't know. It's just fun. Caldwell is, I don't know. He has good comedic pacing over several panels. My only bummer is I wish this was longer. Here's Mad's all-access pass to the MTV Music Awards. It's all right. Monroe back to school. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I know every time I'm on this, I just, kiss Bill Ray's ass, even though he doesn't respond and to my messages on Facebook Messenger. There's a great, something I don't talk about a lot, but Craft Tint or Duo Shade is that cool old art technology. I did a video on it quite a long time ago where you can paint with an exposure agent, and it will reveal either single diagonal lines or intersecting lines. Perpendicular lines, depending on what level of exposure you use. So one little jar will reveal these lines, the other jar will reveal those. And you can really see, I think they're really well used in this to do the shading, and it's quite fantastic. And I don't know what it is about it visually that works so well. And I don't mean in this. I think in this it's that sort of kind of old school brushy pen style. But in general, I don't know why it looks so wonderful, but it does. This one, this is so really good use of it. He actually makes it reflect. It's reflective. He's conveying that. Maybe it's the perfect lines. It's the juxtaposition of those just stick straight lines with the brush strokes. I don't know, but it's wonderful either way, and I really like it. Sergio Aragones presents a mad look at trying out for the team. Hey, if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'm doing the thing again this week where I've already read through it, and I'm just giving my thoughts post that. This was really great. The Mad's look at trying out for the team. And something clicked when I was looking through this. This is something that I really like about this, but isn't always captured in these. But something like trying out for the team is really open-ended. And you can kind of see it in this very first cartoon. So it's I got to go kick a ball. I got to go shoot a hoop. I got to go play football. And he scampers out and he goes to the arcade to play football. I don't know. I just think it's like, that's pretty fun. And it's a pretty awesome twist on it. It's subverting our expectations. So look at this, wrestling. He sees some like Greco-Roman bros in Speedos. He's like, oh, well, shit. That's funny. I mean, it's not funny like when I just talk about it and describe it, but I don't know. I think it's pretty swell. Like, this guy can't catch. He can't throw. He can't kick. Oh, you made the team. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I think that like this type of thing is just, this is the ideal MAD look at. Something that is open to a lot more interpretation. I think it's pretty hard to beat. More Mr. Fix-It tackles your occult and paranormal home repair problems. I love this. The home repair problem, like the way that was done, that lettering is so cool. Now, this is, James Warhola is doing the art for this. The art is beautiful. It's so many words, though. I didn't read it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. PC Vey, I don't doubt that this is hilarious because PC Vey, his like little one panel things are almost all killers. They're wonderful. There's a new advertising campaign for Espen that asks us to look at what the world would be like without sports. Some of the lines include, weekends would be weekdays. Would anybody believe in miracles, etc.? Well, that's the ad agency's idea of what would happen. But we have our own theory on what life would be like without sports. I'm going to read through probably most of this. It's pretty fun, and Tom Richmond's art is awesome, and there's like some fun little bits of chicken fat sprinkled in. Not an obscene amount. You won't be clutching pearls at the amount of chicken fat that has been left scattered throughout this. Without sports, the guys who now attract women with their professional sports status would have to use charm instead, thus driving down the number of illegitimate babies by 74%. Many athletes who receive millions to endorse stickers would only be qualified to work in the same 3-cent an hour sweatshops that manufacture them. The 10 extra minutes gained on the nightly local news would be used by weathermen to explain barometric pressure in greater depth. I do like this one. There's a nice Max Korn reference on Eminem's arm. Repressed homosexuality would explode as men would no longer have a non-gay way to jump on one another, slap each other on the fanny, or shower with other men. Professional wrestling would remain totally unchanged. Yeah, you got The Rock there. He no longer has that flat top. American males would have even less inclination to learn mathematics since they would have to figure out point spreads. Since they wouldn't have. I screwed that one up. Bobby Knight would be tranquilized, Mike Tyson would be lobotomized, and O.J. Simpson would be on death row. And finally, God would be able to concentrate on world hunger and curing illnesses once he is no longer besieged by Cubs and Red Sox fans praying for a World Series win. It's lovely. And here we have possibly the high point of the entire magazine, which is Teresa Burns Parkhurst's The Telltale Signs of a White Trash Wedding. And a lot like the one with it was a couple, I don't know, it was probably a couple months ago, but it was like an issue where it was like if dogs were on Jerry Springer or something like that. I don't know. Her art style captures some pretty amazing things, and she really captures that the white trash culture. I think pretty darn well. Let's see. Oh, here. No, this is the one I wanted to show you right here. Perfect. The bride thinks her bruises meet the requirement for the something blue. I mean, that one alone is just so perfect. Ushers are dumbfounded at their task of seating the guests. Bride's family or groom's family, ma'am? Yes, please. Guests sporting glittery decals on their sweatshirts are overheard scoffing at guests with only plain decals on their sweatshirts. Damn disgrace. In a touching display of affection for their first dance together, the bride and groom feverishly grind to AC/DC's Highway to Hell. And finally, the traditional father-daughter dance quickly degenerates into the father-daughter makeout session. I don't, just like all of these like little characters that she has sprinkled throughout. They're beautiful. Here we have what is it? Peter Cooper. How did I not remember that? Spy versus Spy. Now this, I started reading this thinking it was a spoof. It is not. This is an actual advertisement for Lacrosse Technologies Techno Scout Atomic Digital Technology. It says Atomic Digital Technology, Radio Wave Technology, Atomic Digital Watch Titanium Finish. Not made of titanium. Keep that in mind. That's an ad. That's like an old person ad. That's the type of ad that like Granddad would. That's in Reader's Digest or TV Guide. That shouldn't be in Mad Magazine. Whoever sold this space, I hope they were fired. That's an embarrassment that was in this magazine. Self-defeating consequences in modern American life. I'm going to skip by that, even though I love my boy Paul Coker. Using Kitty TV to explain the war on terrorism. Bob the Builder, thanks to Bob being an old business crony of Dick Cheney, he gets the no-bid contract to rebuild Baghdad. Winnie the Pooh, Rabbit calls his home a hutch, but it sure looks like It sure looks a lot like a Taliban cave. A bunny buster bomb settles the issue once and for all. Blue's Clues. When that bungling Joe fails to put three obvious clues together, another national landmark is lost. Oh, man. Here we have Mad's twisted truisms, axioms, and theories. This is just like a one-panel thing. It was fun, though. I don't know. I kind of liked it. If all crime disappeared tomorrow, security agencies, self-defense schools, TV producers... I might just have to hang that up. If there are two twin brothers and one blasts off into space for 100 years and one stays on Earth, when the spaceship returns, both brothers will most likely be dead. Matter goes from solid to liquid to gas unless you eat a super burrito, in which case the liquid stage is skipped. If an airplane travels east for 24 hours straight and keeps crossing the international date line, at some point the airline will be forced to feed you a bag of their damn peanuts. I don't know. They're kind of fun. They're just silly little things. Here we have 8 simple rules for writing a mad spoof of a dopey ABC TV sitcom. This is that show that John Ritter was on. And I remember when John Ritter died, and everybody kind of lost their shit, it seemed like. I don't get it. I know he was in Three's Company. I know he was mistaken by, what's-his-face for being a homosexual. But that show wasn't that great. 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter? That wasn't great either. Like, was he a real nice guy and I just don't know? Anyway. Here we have the fold-in. Immaculate, not folded in, because I don't do that. I don't fold in the fold-in. I'm not a monster. And this was one from my childhood. with that, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have wonderful holidays. Please remember, hit like, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Toodaloo.